Okay, hello. I'm just checking on the music volume. Okay, probably works. So, I'm going to continue what I was doing yesterday, which, for context, is this. I forgot, I closed my, I no longer have the MS Paint file where I have the description from Miro, but I guess that's here. I'm under the impression that all the graphical assets of the game... Oh, actually, some of it's here. So, okay, do this again. Don't know, people tend to data mine the game day one, so it's hard to say what remains a secret and what not. Although in the current public version of Termina, there is something that I think is not widely known. At least I haven't seen anyone mention it, despite the build being 2 years old, for something that is similar to a super secret, ultra obscure Easter egg. And he later said, I'm under the impression that all the graphical assets of the game and text has been combed through. The thing that makes this particular secret so well hidden is that it's only mildly interesting on surface level, but it's the context that makes it what it is. It's something that won't draw too much attention unless you're knee-deep in the lore. So not yesterday, 2 days ago, I suppose, I spent 3 hours looking for this, this undiscovered secret. And, I made this very long post about it. My best candidate, in my opinion, that I saw was, the Mayor's Manor basement. It's obviously interesting, but a specific part of the basement, the book, that says, you can't make sense of the writing, it doesn't look like any known language to you. As I say here, I think that book probably gets ignored most of the time. They're distracted with the big pulsating blobs and stuff. And the big pulsating blobs tell us, well, that and Party Talk with Osa tell us that this is the god of the depths. And so, do we have an unknown language associated with the god of the depths? I initially was saying it was mastery over insects. That was what I was saying on stream. But as I was typing this, I realized the cave dwellers in the first game have writing. It's described as, there's a crude notebook on the table, but its contents remain mystery. I just realized my cursor is not there. Okay, there we go. I wasn't capturing the cursor for a bit. There's a crude notebook on the table, but its contents remain mystery to you. The writing consists of random symbols that lack all finesse. So we have a depths-associated book that is a completely unrecognizable writing system, just like this book. So I think that's like... the book, if you saw it, you'd say, like, huh, weird. And that's similar to what Miro says. It's, like, only mildly interesting, I would say. But if you know more about it, you're like, oh, this is the God of the Depths, and the God of the Depths in the first game had the Cave Dwellers, and the Cave Dwellers had their own writing. So that's my best idea currently. But I do intend to look for more, because I did not finish getting through the game. And I realized I forgot I really needed to quickly check where I left off last time. I left off Trujillo East outskirts. Where? Okay, so yeah, around here. Okay. I did realize I should check like Blue Sky to see if Miro has said anything else on it. I'll check the Reddit account too. Yeah, nothing new on the Reddit account. Okay, I have to find happy paintings and then... God, I can't check the replies if I'm not signed in. And I accidentally unsigned myself. Okay, I won't be able to check if he said anything new on Blue Sky. He probably hasn't. So yeah, we're looking for secrets that are a little bit interesting, but if you know more about the game, then then there's more to them. And there's something that Miro hasn't seen anybody talk about, which doesn't mean they've never been talked about, but not frequently, for sure. So I doubt there's gonna be too much here. I'll have a look around. Because I think I checked here yesterday, but I don't know. Is there anything I like? What are these? Oh, these are probably for determining whether you can hear being shot, or maybe it's the rooftops or something. Oh, flyers. Okay. You should be able to look at these. I mean, look at this. This has got their own tile. You should have a description. I'm like, what if those are the same flyers as in the first game from, like, Rondon? But, okay, they're also all over the place here. It seems an unlikely possibility. Yeah, I don't think it's going to be here. So the restaurant, both floors of it. Anything on the windows? Anything at the windows? No. Take some money from the cash register. I like that there's like, presumably Miro thought, I don't know, I'm imagining that Miro's like, it would be nice to have like a bunch of like drinks on a shelf, but then realized that'd be like a huge like game balance thing, like, oh, a bunch of free drinks, and so had to like say, oh, they're actually fake. I don't know. Maybe it's something else going on. Oh, fun. Henrik's potatoes. Oh! You can look at this cup. A dirty coffee cup. Okay. The oven is in better condition than most ovens in the town. Your hands get sticky from that. There's some gore. That's fun. The sink isn't working. Lots of plates of blood. I mean, again, I just... it's interesting to see what you can look at, is all, I guess. Sometimes you can look at things that you wouldn't expect. I wonder if there's anything to all the shattered mirrors. Because there's a lot of shattered mirrors, and like, I don't know what that would have to do with the lore or anything. But it's a distinctive thing about the town that is, I don't know, something to look at. Yeah, nothing too complicated in the restaurant though. Okay, the back alleys. There is the obvious thing of this big ritual circle. It's a bit hard to view in RPGmaker. I believe it's the same symbol that the Black Witch has, right? Any big discovery? Well, I've only just started this stream, so I don't have anything new compared to the last one. I'm just checking this ritual circle here. It seems... sigil or whatever it is. It seems too obvious for nobody to have really thought about it. There is not a easy to find picture of the Black Witch's circle on the wiki. I think it's just the same one as that, which is presumed Grogoroth. It's gonna keep looking around the wiki a little bit to see if... Yeah, I don't think it's on there. I think I've seen other theories about what this sigil is, although I don't really believe personally, but maybe it's worth... I have to change the music. That's Fear and Hunger does not have good background music. That's like Shillings or Lost Haven is like the only one. So I'm just gonna try playing the entire Look Outside soundtrack. I might check the first game to see, just to check on that sigil again. Again, it seems too obvious, but I don't know. You gotta check. Sigil, so that's depths. Is it not here, or is it it's in the library, I know. Okay, I guess it's just in the library. Which is in Golden or is it in Ancient Library? Okay, well it's not very visible here either. Yeah, it's that, pentagram. I remember, I think there's in like Mao Zedong's Sulfur video, there's some like complicated theory, like sigil symbolism theory that I didn't really get, about how that was like sulfurs maybe, but whatever. Back alleys. So this, oh god, it's pretty hard to see from this. Is that the same? It's not actually. Okay, it's got 6 points, or that's still 5. I don't know. I'm gonna have that would be. I don't think I can investigate that right now, and I personally think it's too obvious. Just a locked door. I'm wondering, where is... This isn't a secret or anything, but sometimes there's a meat mallet enemy in this area, and I don't know how. Is it one of these? Yeah, one of these is part of the mob. Oh, it's half cocooned? I guess it's half cocoon. Yeah, I don't know what actually places them there. I heard it's just a random chance. Anything in the garbage cans? Yeah, probably not. I always thought that the garbage cans had their own loot table, but it's just a random minor item, which is like the same as any container. But like, I swear I get better items on average from the garbage cans. Got a bee sounds, and this is where Mr. Doe shows up. I'm losing control of the screen. More of these flyers. Some of them might be the have you seen this man in your dreams? Because there are supposed to be a lot of those. Just a spire. Okay, what is this song now? Oh, The Wizard's Journey. Okay, that's a good one. Does anything, like... Okay, it just says garage is empty. Probably done that before, but it's been a long time. Okay, so the sigil remains something to look into. Oh, can you look into this window? No. Disappointing. Yeah, the sigil, broken mirrors, wanted posters, or whatever these posters are. I don't know why I was saying wanted posters. And then paintings are things that seem a little bit odd to maybe look into. First floor of the apartments. Something fun about this event. So that's at the TV set. Where is that? Hello. So, it actually checks what time of day it is. Right? I just think that's interesting. That the report is always effectively live, you could say. Because she gives you the correct time of day. And so... I don't know, I think, to me that makes it less likely that it's like a pre-recorded thing, and it's probably coming from the TV itself. Which is like, I've always been, like, against the idea that this like Karen doppelganger is a doppelganger like the others. I think it's working off of some different principle, probably maybe logic. It doesn't exactly make sense, but I mean, they kind of tell you, they give you hints, which logic likes to do, but there's no, like, butterflies, or moths. There would be a moth here if it was logic. So it's a bit of a mystery. Everything's sealed shut with mold. There is a lot going on with the apartments, actually. I know one thing people theorize is that the serial killer in these apartments was the janitor. Right? Like, here's a little janitor's closet. And that would also make them the janitor that you meet at the beginning of the game. I think it's a decent... Oh, I'm getting a phone call that I can't answer right now. Give me a moment. Okay. Okay, so... Because, like... I don't think there's... Some people say that there's evidence that they're the janitor, but I'm pretty sure there isn't. Oh, maybe this is... Only when I'm alone in here, during the late hours, only then I notice the true nature of these hallways. The cracked floor tiles, decrepit toilets, the moldy planks that rise up to the endless heights. That... I've never even read this book before. At least not that I can think of. I mean, maybe the first time I played and I forgot about it. Yeah, you haven't played this game in a while. I guess... I don't know. Anyway, this is significant because this... this actually is... I was just saying I didn't know of any evidence that this serial killer was the janitor. This is maybe evidence of that. The true nature of these hallways, that's a reference, I would think, to The Truth Under the Moonlight. Right? That's one of my favorite books, because it has a lot of meaning. Who only in the darkness of the night does the true and vile nature of men get revealed. I guess the Skin Bible by Enki also, the one on Rare, also kind of explains it, that it's his blessing to men is his moonlight, which is said to uncover the truth under the human filth, a truth that is often too much for a human mind to handle. And so this is the rare version of the apartments. And so the truth of the apartments is that they're this moldy, plank-covered, decrepit apartment building, and it's... I don't know. I don't know what this is really supposed to mean. Decrepit. But it suggests... I don't know. I guess it suggests that the person that did the murdering... And let me just make sure okay, pop-ups are working. Okay. He's the one that was in this office. Maybe... I always assumed this would just be like the owner of the apartment building's office. It does have a mop and random apartment maintenance tools. But they've also got like folders and papers. I mean, so maybe the janitor and the owner of the apartment are the same person. Let me look for more hints. I mean, you can't actually look at any of those because of all the fences around. This is just more moldy boxes, moldy crates. Doorway is blocked by the boxes. The boiler hasn't seen use in a while. Yeah, then there's the washing machines. I played Orange Roulette. No, I don't know what that is. I will quickly type it into Google. Huh. Yeah, that... I can see why you would think of that. Looking at my channel, Huh. Do I know about the Joy Mask? Yeah. It's very unlikely to be the Joy Mask, because people have definitely talked about that, and Miro's definitely, like, seen people talk about it. The crazy thing about the washing machine, if you sneak in from Rare's Realm, if you go through the Golden Gates, it just locks again, and then you can't open this door from this side. Like, it doesn't open here, it opens here? Yeah, it opens here. When you interact with this tile, which you can't reach. And so, you can just get completely stuck in there unless you guess the password to the laundry machine. Anyway, I think this is... Yeah, this book is actually good evidence that the janitor is is this person here, who either owns the apartment building or is the janitor. Is this just mail? Mailboxes, yeah, okay. Dirty bucket used for cleaning, mop is sealed inside, yeah, normal stuff we see all over. I think it's really fun that these apartments, like there's a bunch of different apartments that have their own thing going on. Hello, Druff Loud. This table also has a book that you apparently can't interact with. Or is that a plate? Kind of looks like a book to me, but yeah, it is a book. Let's skip this song. Okay. Yeah, there's a lot of papers around, but not many notes. I've looked at this apartment before because I think the portrait situation is interesting. This is the only... the other two portraits have something going on nearby. This one doesn't have as much. It's like a very empty apartment, effectively. I don't know. This is the horse room, and we know there's a sulfur sigil. Oh, no, Ross says stuff about it. I knew that probably, but I forgot specifically that he said things. You can kill Dane here if you want. From the outside, you see people partying inside, but when you go in, it's all quiet. Have you ever think of, you're saying making a game in RPGmaker? I actually have a project, like, it's not at all, like, playable or anything. It's basically a world map, and a lot of concepts in my head and in some text documents on my computer. I keep, like, running into issues with how to make the strange concepts I have for combat work. I love that you can just go and die in the white mold apartments by sleeping on a bed. That's pretty fun. This is all the plants. Windows are described the same. Wardrobe, pretty boring stuff. I do want to maybe check this. So 326, Diaries of a Madman. Did you discover it yet? No, I'm still looking. I've only just started today. I've already forgotten the item number. I have an idea, 271. There's probably multiple variants of the book. I have one idea that I think is decent, but there's a lot of the game left to look through. Common Event 392. I didn't need to close it there. Whatever. Okay, Diary of Madman 1. Legible scribblings. The moon is of no value to me. It is but a mark of a trigger. Yeah, so obviously they seem like a sulfur cultist because of this. And the sigil on the floor. But then the the person doing the ritual lives up here. But then this node's down here. I mean, I guess this isn't the place you live, but I feel like if you owned the building, you. So I don't know. Maybe there's a janitor and they live in this apartment specifically. I've seen people talk about that a decent amount, though. Oh. Okay, Tanaka can show up here, apparently. Talk about the theory that the janitor sulfur cultist is the janitor of this apartment building and the serial killer. And I'm finding there's more evidence to that than I thought. This, I've seen people make somebody who's made an entire PowerPoint, like, presentation on this stuff. The horse head statue. And, like, the astronomy stuff. About, like, oh, there's a god of the stars, and the horse is their symbol, and I don't really agree with it, but I mean, it is something of interest, but I think it's, I don't know. Is it like, I think without any context, this is mildly interesting. And what does it mean if you know a lot about the lore? I mean, there's no mention of stars in, like, the rest of the lore, really. So I don't know. But this is a possibility. Okay, thank you, Avast Antivirus. You're coding in, is it like Godot? Godot? Probably not Godot. Yeah, okay, wait, are there mirrors here? There are mirrors, but they're covered in mold. You can talk to the spirit board, potentially. I don't know what happens when you do that. But... Godot. Okay, that's fine. I don't remember what's up with the spirit board here, but I know it's in a no commentary video. That's just been a long time since I've watched, so I doubt that would be it. If it's in a no commentary video, like, probably not it. And these also have mirrors with white mold on them. And another bed that you can die on. There's a lot of stuff that I'm seeing in this apartment that I'm like, this could be it, but, like, I don't actually, like, I feel like I don't know enough to say whether or not it's it. Like, this statue definitely could be it. Just because somebody made an entire PowerPoint presentation about it on the Fear and Hunger Discord doesn't mean that Miro has seen people talking about it. Yeah, the no commentary archive is pretty helpful. I've tried to... There's a few things I've tried to do in a similar style to no commentary. I mean, the party talk for the first game video is obviously that. And the last stream, 2 days ago, I found something that is not in any other videos I've seen. It's a Karen event that... Oh, you can find Tanaka's hat in here. Being oh so sleek, the mold bed seems like a good idea. I'm interested about how uncanny the apartments are, like with the statue, the ghosts, the little strange book text about people. I do want to check the Diary of a Madman on the wiki, because I think there's 6 different numbers that you can choose. So, one who only talks to her plants, his puppets will bear witness to his sacrifice, the foolish braggart who just moved in, the songbird that utters her last whimpers. Foolish braggart who just moved in, only talks to her plants, songbird, puppets. The lunatic that raves about the moon and stars to all day's end. That's what I was looking for. So one of the... only one of the versions of the diary, which is kind of interesting. That it's like the only... There's only 5 possible subjects in the murder. And this is the only one that's only appears in one of them. The madman that... the lunatic that raves about the moon and stars to all day's end. It's a bit loud. Anyway, what, you're saying a lot. What is it? Nexus of the Uncanny, where the apartment goers certainly weren't entirely normal. Yeah, like, the rave about the moon and stars. What if it's like if it's 2 different people? These books next to it. It's like... It'd be weird, but, only when I'm alone in here, during the late hours, only then I notice the true nature of these hallways. That doesn't really make sense. But I'm just wondering, like, if they rave about the moon and the stars, the true nature of hallways, true nature of things is something Rare is interested in. And the madman that writes the diary and does the murdering says, like, oh, the moon is coming, but I don't care about that. It's, what do they say? The moon is of no value to me. It is but a mark of a trigger. So, like... This seems like somebody that actually might care more about Rare, but it's very weird. Okay, sorry about I don't, whatever. I'm about reading and responding and whatever. Yeah, it's like... There's stuff going on in the apartments that, like, I don't have the answers to. And so it's like anything could be the mystery that we don't know about. Because... Can you get into this room? I don't think you can. No, you can't. You can never open that door. But you can sleep in the bed and look at the cupboard. Even though you can never actually get in here. I wonder if... Yeah, I'm gonna look carefully at the alternate version here. And one thing I was thinking about last time is different ways out of Rare's realm. Because at the woodsman's basement, and the one in the tunnels near the telelectroscope, both of those can be left by climbing a ladder, which then takes you to a different place in the real world too. And this one you can go into a washing machine to get in, and then climb out of here and also leave it. I don't know what to get from that. That's something. The basement is also clearly different. You climb up a ladder that's approximately here, instead of going up the stairs. Then you end up at the first floor here, which is... Yeah, this part of the... This version of Razor Run was more different than most. Like, you climb up the ladder and you're effectively here. And then there's an additional building here that would correspond to this. So the second floor... I do wonder, I want to look at, like, is there any equivalency between each room here to each room here? And so the obvious one is that the sulfur sigil stayed, and this is where the effigy is. Yeah, Tanaka's here sometimes. Anyway. So this room... This is... I think... Okay, this is just a room that you can't enter, but also still has descriptions to it. And actually, I don't think you can ever check a wardrobe... Wait. This is a very unimportant detail, but... I think... Yeah, I think this is the only time you can actually... This is the only wardrobe you can look at in the white mold apartments, but it isn't actually accessible. So this description was written, but it is not visible in the game. This is basically a featureless apartment. This is the plant apartment. The plant apartment has the golden gates in it. I don't know what that means. Probably not much. Somebody in this... the liquid draining chair. Murky purple liquid. Okay, so this is another one you can't enter. This is the music person. This one... You can jump down this hole into here. I don't think that does very much. And this... Okay, let's skip this song. I don't really like this one. Okay. And this is the room with the portrait of a young gentleman, or whatever it's called. Yeah, I don't see very much, like, correlating between the different rooms. Doll room, unenterable room, not moved into room. They're all pretty similar. And this doesn't seem to have much in it. And this is the astronomy room, which we have to get into by going into here, which is, I think, otherwise a featureless room. Same for this one. Okay, I don't know. I didn't see anything with that. Okay, a vast antivirus is always listening. Oh, I love this song. I'm like making a joke about a video that I haven't even released and might never release. Just because it's really boring to edit. Okay, I don't know. That's, there's a lot of stuff in the apartments, and some of it could be the mystery that we're looking for, but there's so much going on that I don't even know. It's really funny that there's 4 variants of needles. So like sometimes Miro has to do like this absurd number of of variants here. There's this rare Pav event where if you're playing as Karen, he shows up. You get to attack him. That's actually interesting. It's very difficult to attack Pav otherwise. So it's a small advantage for Karen. You know, this funny little needles interaction. I think, which one? So this gets you the hardened heart? I've never actually done that before. So, yeah, you can shoo the crows away. And then you come back. And you have to shoo them away on day 1 and then on day 2. And then a day 3 evening, which I think is the very last moment, I think. I'm not sure. It might be the middle of the day, but also the way it's coded is a bit weird. It just might be the last moment. Anyway, it's not that big of a secret. There's a no commentary video, I think. Okay. This is the Thorned Ring. Yeah, I don't think there's... I'm trying to focus on secrets. Again, I feel like I've been getting distracted just looking at any random thing. For fertility and prosperity. You can look at this inaccessible door. It's just a copy of this building. Okay. You can find Marco dead here if Needles kills him. Okay. Probably nothing there. There's some apartment. Yeah, this apartment building. Just a bunch of chairs. It's mostly just here, I think, for Maso mode, so you can hide inside to wait out the Moon Scorch timer. The white vial is usable, though. The kitchen is completely... Actually, this is... Is this unique? Most of the sinks say something else, don't they? And you can pick up leftovers from the table here, but, I mean, you can't actually do it because of the chairs, but... Huh. There's a unique sink that would give you rotten meat, but it's inaccessible, I guess, specifically. I wonder what this is. So it's like it's impossible to tell what happened to this person. That makes me want to figure out what happened to this person. Only underwear and old socks. The sink is dirty. Nothing interesting in it, just random rubbish. Television set. More paintings. Not much we can do about it. There's a radio. People loves their bloody trays. I legitimately don't know why there's so many of those. I think a rat hag can show up in here. Yeah, a rat hag was maybe living in this apartment. Okay, Shopping Street is a fairly large area, because it also includes this whole thing. There's no commentary video on this encounter. One thing I noticed, there's this thing you can read on the floor here that I'd never read before. The Great Debate of Prehevel, held in June 1919 at Grand Palace of Prehevel in Bohemia, by two mourning sides of the Great War. And so there's like a statue of the mourning one over here, and statue of the mourning one over here. This has a lot of implications, but the mourning one has been discussed, even though I've never specifically seen this tablet mentioned. This is more, you know, some context about the mourning one, probably. June 1919 is pretty recent. And the Great Debate. It's interesting. There's a bit of mystery to it. I don't know. Just thinking about it more, I want to give it its fair chance. The morning one. Let me see if there's anything on the wiki about it. It's telling me the morning star. I think it's just on the page of the gods. It mentions there are similar statues in Rondon in the first game, but without a name being given. So that would mean presumably the morning one didn't originate in 1919. These are just being used to represent that they're two mourning sides of the Great War. I don't know. That is something. I feel like I should figure out the answers to it if there are any. The Great Debate of Prehevel. And the morning one is obviously meant to seem like a new god, but it's like a new god that is a saint, so presumably stayed like loyal to the Vatican. Yeah, that's part of the August event. I don't know. This is it still kind of troubles me that I don't have a clear answer to that. Beyond like, oh, it's just some history about a new god. Which might be all there is. Isn't this a copy? Find anything? Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on in the moldy apartments. I found, I'd actually never read this book before. Or at least I'd forgotten about it. It's really suspicious, but in the end I still don't actually have perfect answers to everything going on with the apartments. So I'm a little, like, disappointed, I guess. There's definitely some stuff going on there. Hard to say if anything there would be the secret that we're looking for, but it's something to consider. There's a dog yelling outside. Hopefully that's not too bad. I know, there's actually code for, like, this event where after Henrik poisons people, you presumably talk to him. But I've never found... Well, I guess I've never triggered the event myself, so I don't know if it happens. I haven't seen video of this conversation. And... maybe you need to sleep, like, outside of... What is that? So that's a Henrik poisoning scene 1, which is what starts it. Do tiles change with times of day? I mean, when there's something like this, yeah, I switch telling it to change with the time of the day. Yeah, I found this before, and I wasn't able to find, like, the code for the conversation that you'd presumably have with Henrik here. Like, I looked at all the nearby tiles, and I... Oh, this is it? No. This is a poisoning-related tile. Oh, this is it. Oh, okay. So again, I haven't seen this event before, but it might be buggy, or it might be just nobody has recorded it and in a way that let me see it. Nice day, isn't it? The weirdly stoic expression on his face. And then he turns around and leaves. It seems like he just walks away after. I guess this is like if you... It seems like you only see this if you walk from here and trigger it here, because there's nothing... So I don't see anything on the staircase. So presumably this is like... You leave a bunch of people in Prehevil Bop with Henrik, then you go to sleep somewhere else. And I imagine most people would be sleeping in Prehevil Bop in these circumstances. And so they'd get the version where he's not there. But if you go here from somewhere else, and you get this ominous, like, Henrik is standing there, and he is... I'm skipping that song. And he's like, it's a nice day, isn't it? And he's just being very suspicious. I've already forgotten where the tile was. Here it is. Nice day, isn't it? And then he just walks away. That's interesting. Obviously not the secret. People have gotten Henrik to poison their team before. Even if they haven't necessarily done it that way, that doesn't seem like what we're looking for at all. The clothing store, you know, this is too obvious of a mystery, right? The irregular obelisk. People talk about this all the time. Or at least, I don't know. People have talked about it. I think it was an old theory from Mao or All Bones Jones, one of their videos, where they were talking to each other that, oh, here's working mirrors. Okay. There are working mirrors in Prehevil. So, I don't know what that means exactly. I was just like, all of the mirrors seem to be broken. It is still, this is an unusual location, so maybe that could still mean something, but it's good to find, you know, I don't know, fun to finally find a working mirror in Prehevil. Yeah, the irrational obelisk is probably related to logic. Because, I mean, first, One thing is, it's described as her, and attack her and blinking her eyes, like Ryla. And even though it's a pile of shirts. And it's also probably like directly above ground where Logic is. If you look at like, I guess the clothing store is here. And that's like, it's a bit underground, which is kind of odd. That's, the Rational Obelisk is like here. And Logic, you get to Logic by going over here. There you go, pretty far to the right. You go to the museum, which is in this direction. You go in, and then you go into the museum, you go down, and then you go very far to the left, mostly. And so you likely end up around here by the time you get to Logic. Not, again, that's in like a YouTube video that, I mean, Miro probably didn't watch like the whole thing, but Miro has mentioned Mao before, and so, and I'm sure that's made into like the lore channel on the Discord. So, just, I'm getting, exactly what I said, that I'm getting distracted with things that couldn't be the mystery. Okay, nothing too interesting here. Can bring Henrik here and talk to him. Okay. So Preval Bop, there's no way there's like a hidden lore mystery in Preval Bop. It's way too small. There's some fun conversations that some of them are hard to trigger with like Abella. But I don't know, whatever. I don't have time to get distracted with that. It's already been an hour. So the department store. I really hate navigating the department store. It's so, like, just horribly laid out. I wonder if the Leechmonger ring is anything. It's a bit obvious. People have definitely talked about it. More of the exact same dresses. I didn't realize that, actually. They only sell one type of dress in Preval. Between this and the clothing store. Okay. Preval West. I was working on recording this Karen event that I saw last stream, but I was busy yesterday, so yeah, that can explode you. I don't think there'd be much here. There's another painting. Building is totally collapsed. What is this? What are Levi and Karen doing over here? Oh, this is another version of that that Karen talking about Levi being dead event. There's 3 versions of this spread throughout the game. There's this Karen event over here, where Karen finds you standing over Levi's dead body. And then apparently she's also over here with the exact same lines. And for some reason, on the lake, like the the lake near Old Town, there's also a copy of that event. Very strange. What could be hidden here? What could be hidden at this location? I don't think there'd be much. Okay. Keep going, I guess. So oh. Okay, just a random Discord ping that doesn't matter. Truck here. I'm struggling to really think of any secrets that could exist in this area. Oh, I haven't actually looked at this. The Awakening. Nothing will be the same after The Awakening. That's what the poster promises, at least. It must be a poster for a fairly new movie, or strictly local Previllian movie, because you haven't heard of it before. Interesting. It's some mountains on its poster. I presume that might be like a reference to a real movie, but I don't know what it would be. Here's Olivia's severed head. Well, that's nice of Needles. If Olivia dies to Needles, you can pick up her head. Unlike most of the other ways she can die. The occult store. Why is this map so big? This map is... okay, part of the reason it's this big is because it includes the back room, but it's still a lot bigger than it needs to be. Is this what the... This looks simpler than... I remember there being more clutter in the back room here. Definitely could be stuff here. What is this thing? Some kind of alchemic furnace. Something has been burned here recently. The smell is out of old exotic spices. So obviously that brings to mind Spice Forge. I also kind of wonder... is there any chance this looks similar to what Nosferatu has? So I'm gonna go check. That would be in level 5? Maybe 6? 5. Well, Nosferatu has one of those plates that Previllians love to fill with blood. Got a little oven. Okay, I mean, clearly... it's like slightly similar, but not that similar. And one fun thing you can do, actually... no, that's not it. How do I do this again? I've done this before. There's like a Reddit post I made of it, but... here we are. No? You can remove the candle and then you can see Australia. So this is the full version of the world map. We'll have the candle blocking it. I don't know. It doesn't reveal that much, but it's nice to see. Okay, so we were at the occult store. This painting again. It looks like a new one, actually. Yeah, I don't really know what would be going on here. Okay, this small apartment building. Some stuff on the wall. Useless junk. They're too lazy to carry their trash out. Okay, these are the leftovers. And the rusted sink that's in that other apartment that's completely inaccessible in-game. So it's just a copy of this one. Mostly. I mean, there's less stuff in the other one. This is an obvious mystery. Random documents fill the table. For the most part, the documents are just illegible ramblings. The only constant in all the papers is the sigil of the long-lost older god, the god of the depths. Or the letter R reversed, whatever that means. And then there's this... What is going on with this bed? It's this person turning into a beekeeper. But, you know, much too well known. Everybody knows about this thing. No way this hasn't been discussed before. Huh. This has a personal description. The shelf has a lot of random personal items that belong to the person who resided here. Looks like the person collected old ceramics. It is a pretty interesting collection. What an odd detail to give. This place is kind of weird. This is kind of weird. When you walk in here, the half cocoon is triggered, so maybe that's who lived here. Then you've got this portrait again, which I've talked about before. There's this, The shelves have various photographs of the resident and his friends. Or are they more than friends? In some photos they do seem awfully close, and then you've got the portrait of a young man. An interesting item that I don't think there's a complete answer to, but I thought about it a lot yesterday, so I don't need to focus on that again. It has a bookshelf. Okay. Okay, I need a slight break, I think. I'll be back in like a minute or something. There wasn't a boss fight going on here while I was gone, right? The gaze playing. Anyway. The convex screen of the television distorts your reflection, and the thick glass muddies your shape even further. The reflection is nothing like human, now that you think about it. This might be something, because you see your reflection in the TV screen. Well, back in the clothing store, the mirror door shows only a muddy and distorted reflection of yourself. I wonder if the apartment television can give you a reflection too. What happens after it's off? Okay. I know there was a TV in one of these apartments. Right? Yeah, this one. But you can't look at it at all. Okay. So there might be something going on where all reflections are distorted ones. You could kind of do something with that, like Rare wants, I don't know, doesn't want you looking at yourself unless it's a distorted view, just like Rare distorts you. It's kind of reaching, but again, there's so many shattered mirrors that it could be something. I don't think it's the mystery that we're looking for, but that's kind of interesting. I don't think there's much here. There's one fun thing. There's a pocket cat scene for this entrance to the city. Like if you... hello, but... oh, I didn't mean to do that. If you take the Venushka sigil into the city, then you get this unique pocket cat scene. I mean, it's the same scene, it's just at a different location. Not too significant, but I don't know. Maybe where the platoon is stored. Yeah, I don't think there's going to be any secrets in here. The storage could have secrets. Who knows? Old wine barrels, just like the first game. Baskets full of moldy potatoes. Cool. Cool, big fan of those. It's kind of a weird building. It's quite empty, but it mainly serves the purpose of being a place to hide for Maso mode. So you can go here and then go into the forest and get to the tent. I've not found the secret. I'm very suspicious of a lot of things in the moldy apartments, but I haven't really... I've seen some of them discussed. The janitor being the killer one, I've seen discussed often enough that I feel like Miro would have likely heard of that. And the horse statue I've seen like somebody make an entire PowerPoint on that in the Discord lore channel. So it probably isn't that. What's left? What have I not looked at? They're not very much. There's the school, and then this stuff, which obviously has some potential to it. Where'd the school go? here. What is this? Checked pockets. Strange. Some kind of spirit event. Oh, for checking pockets, because, in the basement, I think. There's, this... Yeah, you have to check the pockets of the skeleton, and then you find a ring of wraith. Okay. Yeah, there definitely could be things in here. Okay, something helpful that I'd never noticed before. The bookshelves look different. And so these bookshelves have actual books, and these ones have school books, so nothing. To me it just kind of felt random, and it always annoyed me trying to look for books here, and sometimes I just give up and don't even bother. There's a note. I thought it was in here. Yeah, this one. Someone stole the headmaster's ring. It must be found. That one probably is a hint about the ring on the skeleton in the basement. Which I learned about recently, and I told a friend, and he was like, "Oh yeah, I thought everybody knew about that." Apparently it was just obvious. So I doubt... Yeah, there's no lore implications either. Hangman, where you get the talking board. Kind of fun. Oh, interesting. Documents of random... I've never, looked at this one before. Documents of random pre-Avillian people. Apparently the orphanage has kept record of their previous orphans even after they leave the place. Fun. Okay. School-related documents. Which one is this? Okay, this one's fine. I think. Find Weeping Scope here. Oh, here's another hint about how long the festival will have been. The bulletin board has information about upcoming school events. All of the events date back over 1 month, which would suggest the festival has been going on for longer than 1 month. Which I think it probably hasn't. I'm starting to get tired. I woke up early for no reason today. Just like 6:30 a.m. for no reason. I don't know why, and I wasn't very tired, but I am now. Burnt meat. Fun. Anything in the sink? No? Okay. Yeah, there could be something here, but it's... Yeah, it doesn't seem like it. Oh, there's blood everywhere. Well, that's... That's nice. Nothing interesting here, really. That's surprising. And I'm sure I've checked it before, but You think that'd be interesting? Huho. Oh, Hugo, but Miro. Sometimes you'll just see like a place where Miro mistyped something and it's just stuck there like that. Like Father Huho. it's Father Huho. Famous character from Fear and Hunger 2 Termina. Father Huho. He's just obsessed with the rusty pearls. Nothing interesting here. Okay. Oh, the clock. Let's look at the clock again. Okay, 1435. Most clocks in Pre-Evil are stuck at 1435, but the one at the museum wants you to turn it earlier. That clock actually isn't. That's a different time. Same for this. Yeah, all the clocks on the walls. Okay, slightly annoying. Oh, cool! There's descriptions for if it's nighttime and otherwise. It's a misty night outside. The moon shines strangely bright, lighting up the entire window. Fun. Do you think the Gold Bros were teachers? No, they had like a restaurant on the docks. Oh, it breaks in the same way when the Gold Bros break it. Huh. I would think that suggests that the Gold Bros did break it. Ooh, this is big. We get descriptions of every painting here. So this is school staff, and that looks like, like a priest. This is also school staff, but it appears, to me that looks like a tree in a forest, or not even in a forest, but like a singular tree. But it could be some other spike on the ground. That one's hard to tell. This is also school staff. This is a peaceful vista with some storm clouds gathering. And then more school staff. And this painting previously was described as a young man with a gaunt face. So what if was it young man? Let me check. Gaunt. A painting of a gaunt figure. The picture depicts a young male with striking cheekbones. So is the young male with striking cheekbones the same one as this and their school staffs? I don't know. I don't think that means anything in the end, but it is the same painting. Never looked at this before. Timetable for the upcoming semester. Nothing too out of the ordinary. Maybe just 1 or 2 religious lessons too many. We'll probably skip that song and this one. Through most of the Look Outside soundtrack. Probably just loop it around. We got the schoolyard. Trying to think, like, you hang somebody and there is the thing in Blood and Flower Magic. The dog is getting closer to the house. I don't know how audible that is. Okay, so I know the first secret of Dragoroth. If I see hanging from a tree a dead man's corpse, I wish upon his soul and bind it back to their umbilical cord. And then that corpse will walk and speak again with me. Just, there is symbolism to hanging corpses, but I don't know if that's really at play here. You use this, I mean, you can't resurrect this with necromancy, so that's what the Gorgoroth usage described there. Is that what room is? Where is this? Where does this take you? Where did it? School 2. Interesting. Oh yeah, here it is. Huh. So this is hidden in School 2. Not its own map or anything. Not that that's significant, but sure. Let's look at the basement first. Okay, then we can restart the music. There could be secrets here. But I kinda... I'm a little doubtful that there's anything that secret. The Tormented One. Bloody bone saw in the bathroom. Is that a... I guess it's a bathroom. What, I don't know what the second sink is there for. Yeah, I don't see a lot in here. In the schoolyard, the alternate schoolyard. So is there anything? Okay, the where I said you lose off map in here makes sense. Gonna give it a good inspection. There could be something secret in here. So you go here, you go down, and then down. Rontules. Do these get a description? No. Oh. What? How would you ever... Well, this is something. Are there more of those? Or... Okay, so there's this tile. Can you even access this tile? I don't think you can. So maybe this is cut? What's this? There's something buried under the dirt. Change items, 0.03 ammo, plus 5. And then it sets itself to switch A, which does nothing. That reminds me a lot of the, what's this? Is how the debug tile near the train starts. It just says, what's this? And then gives you 0.03 ammo. And bolt cutters and a few other things. Is there buried ammo in this area? Or is that like... we were planned to add hidden buried ammo and then removed it? Event 78. It's not named. I'm wondering, because these Rontule spots aren't stored where the Rontules are, because the Rontules are stored there. The Rontules I presume activate, and then maybe it's here? Somehow the Rontules activate, and then the Rusty Pearl spots are moved onto the Rontule spots. And so maybe it's the same there. Maybe it's, you know, this is not an accessible tile, but maybe this gets moved onto the map somewhere. And you got the Golden Gate. I'm gonna have to look into that. That is very strange. Okay, then now the news agency. This is going to get changed significantly in the update. As it is, it's like my least favorite building in the entire game because there's like literally nothing in it. There could be secrets. Oh wait, office supplies and items. Okay, I read line, which didn't make much sense. Oh, you can pick up eyeglasses here. Okay, well that's fun. I don't think there's any use for eyeglasses, but... Okay, second floor. There's a cup of coffee here. No description for that one, unlike others in the game. And then there's just nothing upstairs at all, really. Okay, so then you go to... Oh, this is... Okay, the basement is also the same map. Use the NLU thing. Oh, cool. There's some writing on the note. Yes, we are up to date with modern times now with the electrical lock and all. But stop bashing the panel. It won't open with brute force, you idiots. I'm pretty sure it can. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you can open those doors with brute force. Anything interesting? Anything interesting? Somebody's been shot in the head down here. Somebody found their way in. I wonder... Just thinking because the door is locked still. Maybe he shot himself? You typically see the gun. So that doesn't exactly add up. I think it's kind of fun that this map has a bunch of, like, decorative street stuff. I don't know. Most of the street you can't even go onto, but you can still, like, see all of it. Hallway 1. How mysterious. Most of them are completely locked. Except this one. And you have this nice little garden, which presumably... Where's the, where do you pick up the item? Yeah, the one-winged necklace. Is she placing it, or was it already there? Like, presumably this is, I think, the last location Ryla was. I wonder why she was here. Because this is just kind of a random building. Like, the news agency hasn't... You enter here, you haven't, and then you go through a tunnel, and you end up here. And that's an NOU hideout. But, like... To get to this building, you then leave the NOU hideout, go into an alleyway, go into somebody's house, and then into a different, just completely different building. That we don't even know what this place was. You know, why does it just have a garden? And then, like, I don't know. It doesn't mean much in the end. This is the beta version of the alley map. The back alleys map. Not too much going on there. Then Riverside we already looked at, so we can skip forward to the other side. Sorry. So yeah, there's obviously secrets here. Like this guy and the whole mask situation. And then the Pocket Cat room, which has 2 variants. And I learned recently some of the party talk varies by which version you have. I didn't know about that for a while. What's this? A crime scene? And this... yeah, no description there. So you have a little bit of people talking about the room. And you have other side test, which is where you get the joy mask. I've never done it myself. I was waiting to make a video, but I didn't actually get to it. Then you get the joy mask. Is that a blimp you keep seeing? Oh, the blimp. It might be. It's a hot air balloon, yeah. Is that on screen? No, can I have to, like... Is it this? Yeah, here's the sprite sheet. So that links to this thing. And, yeah, let me make sure I'm doing this right. Okay, good. It's just used to store the party talks for some reason. I don't know why. But, yeah. Whoa, this is incredible. These must be the golden gates of Rare. What exactly are they? Ha, I wish I knew. I was just trying to sound smart. Yeah. It's funny that's still in the game. Yeah, there's a few, let me check the database. There's a few things in, like, system. Yeah, there's, like, a bunch of default RPGmaker things here. The, boat and ship and airship, which are like, in Final Fantasy you get the canoe and then the boat and then the airship. Anyway. Okay, this is the place, and I'm at the tunnels into the bunker. And this is the place I gotta look carefully for secrets. There could be something here. People have definitely talked about the Chromala, right? That's just my first thought of a secret in this part of the game. It's not like secret isn't even the right word, so like I don't think that would be it. The path here is caved in, or it has been demolished on purpose. I think this is probably the... Actually, wait, where's... We're missing a place. Workshop 2. Okay, so that's where you get to from the Golden Gates. Actually, I forgot I was trying to show something. When you leave here, I think, when you... What is it? Where is that again? It's always kind of hard to find. Huh. Oh, there it is. Yes, these variables are set to 0. Out of curiosity, can I show off the parallax backgrounds? I do not know how to. Yeah, I don't know where those are. Okay, this sets all the variables to 0. Here it is. So when you leave the Pocket Cat room, it sets random var between 1 and 99. And then it puts you in here. And then somewhere in here, I remember it's hard to even find the code for it. But there's that random variable is a 1 in 99 chance for this guy with a moon face to appear. And he's already been discussed as a potential for the secret, and it's probably not that. Anyway, yeah, so Workshop 2. So this is where you go to through the Golden Gates, right? Yeah, all these cubes. Here it is. So this description shows up again. You can only see it one other place, I think. The lifeless arms reach out from between the boards. And then there's these cubes. You do not understand their purpose. Yeah, I definitely don't. And the cubes are too obvious a mystery again. And so this is the room that brings you into here when you're in the dream. But once you're in the Golden Gates, it brings you into this little room with just a wooden chest. Yeah, okay, nothing too interesting. I don't think there's any secrets here beyond the obvious. Here's the original workshop. Brings you to the Grand Hall. Okay. Anyway, so I was saying this is obviously... That workshop is obviously the Rare's Realm version of this place. And the sigil was probably up here. Another clock. But also isn't at the right time. That's annoying. That is very annoying that there's clocks that say you're supposed to set the clock in the museum to 13:25, but then there's clocks that say 14:25, and then there's clocks that are visible and don't have either time on. That's like... Is that 2 p.m. or 3 p.m. or like... Or is it 12:10? I don't know. More cubes. Pieces of cubes. With that, someone has ransacked the place somewhat recently. I guess that would be the Bremen Army. It'd be crazy if the janitor was... Because this is the janitor's closet. It'd be crazy if the janitor was the janitor for the Logic project. They've got this empty janitor's closet right next to this. So easily the janitor from this Logic project could easily go to Rare Throne. Okay, somebody just has something wrong with them outside. And then... I don't know. People get what I'm saying? It's more of a stupid idea than anything, but... You know what? There's a conspicuous janitor's closet right next to the place where you find the janitor. What else would it be? Then except a hint that the janitor was this one. I don't know. Then... yeah, lockers. It's kind of helpful actually looking through the map like this, because then I can figure it out better than playing the game where it's kind of easy to get lost. So this door is never accessible. That's good to know. Server rooms, I guess. It's always a little unclear what those were. The cables. Is this what you meant by the parallax backgrounds? Like what they look like without it, maybe? Here it is. I guess maybe it works by having two images and then it like combines them. I don't know, I've never looked into it. Okay. So we've got... yeah, they've got their Five Nights at Freddy's locks. Bunch of random boxes, nothing too secret. Yeah, then you got the crow thing. This one has definitely been discussed before. My main theory is that, you know, Kyra was doing all these marriages for military purposes, and he decided to try making Crow Mauler. You know, just fuse human with crow. You could get something useful, and it turns out, no, you don't actually get anything useful at all, because marriages are not how Crow Mauler is formed. Crow Mauler is formed by the god of the depths. And so the marriage just gets you fusing a human and a crow in a literal sense, which is pretty useless. Anyway. Definitely not the secret we're looking for. More cables. What is that? Okay. That's the Sylvian cultist on the platoon. I don't see that sprite very often. I normally run up to her and begin the fight before the thing even... the platoon even shows up. What do you... Okay, that's the dead body. Okay, then you get the Grand Hall again. There could be something in here. This place is a little obviously interesting, but I'm gonna look around. Yeah, most of the tables are identical. Except the ones near where you can actually be. We've got Francois and this weird face and a mask and the tormented one. Tormented one stands out a lot because he's not even wearing anything. Like Francois, you know, he put his mysterious robe on. Like, you know, what if one of these new gods has some meaning to them? But, I don't know. I don't think there's... like, what could there be? What if the morning one was in here? We wouldn't be able to know because the morning one is also just like a robed figure, like all the generic ones. Okay, so that doesn't help. You have Kaiser. I've talked about his cut dialogue before. Is it this one? Yeah. It's interesting stuff. Then final. The logic room. Something... It's definitely not the secret, but I guess something people haven't mentioned much is that seemingly during the fight, you end up in Rare's realm. You get, like, transported. You fight, like, the Rare's realm version of logic or something. Because, like, you go back to that wooden board background thing. Anyway, then you got that. That's obvious. Is there anything left? Interesting. But that's moonless. Huh. Okay, it's not moonless. It's the other... Is it moonless? It doesn't quite look right, but it doesn't look like the other dogs either. And maybe it is the other dogs. And the dog's status depends on Olivia and Marco's arms and legs. Okay. Outskirts. I guess this is also another test map. He was just testing out the graphics. There's the Iki Terso here. Kind of odd. Fall scene. You can fall through a... What is this? Okay. Clearly this isn't even a test map. It's nothing at all. This is a test map though. Oh, it's another house. And this one made it into the game exactly. And you get more rooms to the sides, but yeah. Map 007. The janitor's in here. Okay. Grand Hall as seen in the intro. Lake test map. You know, this basically got into the game as it is. TV set, preview view, map 12. I guess this is about the deep woods. Huh. Club test. It's Pre-Evil Bop, but only the upper floor. Yeah. The intro moon scene where you're talking to Percolate, intro train cabins, intro workshop. We looked at these before. This is a special map for the Pocket cutscene with Dan. This is the Hexen table. It's almost impossible to navigate like this. The Moon Tower when you go to sleep, I think. Another test map. It's just the Mausoleum Alley. And then some endings, code. And this counts how many dead characters there are. Okay. I haven't found anything that I'm confident in today. Not as successful as yesterday was. My main suspect is something in the apartments. That's the, what else did I think of? Maybe the janitor from the Logic Project, because it's a stupid idea, but that's my only other one. Yeah, I feel like people talk about the apartments, but maybe this, I don't know, maybe not enough, or I'd have to check. This is my main other idea so far. So in the end, if I was to make a guess, it would still be this book is likely written in the Cave Dweller language. Or maybe in Mastery Over Insects, if that has like a writing, you know. But Cave Dweller language is has more basis to it. I wonder if the Cave Dwellers speak in Mastery Over Insects. They don't really interact with any bugs, so I don't know. Yeah, I guess I'll make that as my submission to Miro, who has said that if somebody finds it, he'll say that, you know, you found it, that was the hidden secret. And yeah, I don't know, anything else to do before I submit this as my theorized secret. I'll just wait a moment while I look for things, any additional possible evidence. I'll sign into Blue Sky, and I don't even know what what email I used for it. Like, I think it's saved like on Firefox, but it's like I signed into the weird version of the site, and so like it doesn't keep the password where I think it is. I don't know. I'm not going to be able to find it soon. So goodbye for now. The stream has ended, probably unsuccessfully, unless I want to look at the apartments more. Most of the text is illegible, just like the Madman. So that's something linking them. And so he's more likely to be the same person. And if it is, then that helps the idea that it's the janitor. Okay. Okay. One tiny bathroom for six apartment buildings. Or 6 apartment Rooms, rather. Yeah. Yeah, okay. Goodbye.